Hello everybody, today I'm at the Chicago Auto Show taking a look at this 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate Edition. This is the most luxurious truck offered by GM. Starting off up front, you have the new updated LED headlight and fog light group. Absolutely beautiful. In my opinion, it completely transformed the truck. Being the Ultimate Edition, you are going to get this, what they call Vader Chrome, which I don't like chrome, but it's almost like a black stainless. Like, it looks really good. A little bit of shine to it, but not overpowering. Massive grille up front. GMC is all blacked out. Being the Denali, especially the Ultimate Edition, it's going to come with a front-facing camera. Parking sensors are integrated into the upper portion of the bumper. You have regular chrome down here, which I'm not too fond of. I wish the whole thing was Vader Chrome. Vertical tow recovery hooks, which in my opinion are superior. They just look a lot better, a little bit more aggressive. Beautiful looking truck. Coming around to the wheel and tire setup, I believe we have a 22-inch wheel, and it looks like we have some Bridgestone Alenzas. It looks like it's a 275 60 R22, maybe. I can't read that right, so don't quote me on it, but 22-inch wheel, absolutely beautiful. Black plastic fender flares, splash guards. Something that I really appreciate that General Motors does is they give you this like thicker coat of paint. I don't know what's called, rock guard or something, and it's to protect against rock chips and stuff like that. Your Denali badge is going to be right here. Chrome mirror caps, again, I wish it was Vader Chrome. 360-degree camera mirror mounted camera right there. Ultimate 6.2 liter. This guy also has the deployable running boards, which I'll show you something pretty cool about that real quick. Is you hit the back right here, and if I hit it hard enough, it moves out, so that way I can use it and step up into the bed if I need to. When you're done, kick it back, goes back to a normal running board. Pretty darn cool. Chrome accents, blind spot monitoring as you'd expect. I mean, come on, it's a Denali Ultimate. We have your capless fuel fill port right there. Updated LED taillights, which are really cool actually. If you see them on the road, you'll know what I'm talking about. They kind of pulse a little bit. Pretty sweet. Second generation tailgate step. Your blind spot monitor is actually located right in there itself. Dual exhaust. Backup parking sensors integrated into the middle portion of the bumper. Your 7-pin connector is going to be right there, and then you have 2 trailer cameras, which is pretty cool. One for the back of the trailer, and then one for the inside of the trailer, so you can see and keep an eye on what you're towing. It's got the multi-pro tailgate, backup camera, LED puddle lamp for connecting a trailer in low light conditions. Your Sierra badge is on the passenger side. This one does come with a hard trifold tonneau cover. Right here we have your third brake light, your cargo camera, and your rear view mirror camera. This wing is actually designed to shoot air over the bed, so even if you don't have a tonneau cover, you won't suffer that much more drag, and then decreased fuel efficiency. Beautiful looking truck. I'm very impressed with this redesign. I think they did a really good job. Let's take a closer look at the interior. I do want to apologize for the lack of light in the vehicle. The lighting in the show is great until you get into the vehicles themselves. I am going to try to keep all the dome map lights on, so that way I can maximize it, but I will try and fix it in post. So starting off over here on the driver's side door, you see you got your Bose Premium Audio Group. Beautiful soft touch leather with a topographic map stamped into the leather itself. Really pretty stitching throughout. Wood trim. You have your Ultimate badge right there on the door. All your window controls are here. Mirror controls are going to be right there. Lock, unlock, 2-seat memory. Right over here we have the electronic parking brake, drive mode selector for the vehicle. You have your trailer tow mode button, push button transfer case, auto, 4 high, 2 high, 4 low, cargo lamp button, or I should say fog light button, cargo lamp button, dimmer switch for your instrument cluster, rotary dial selector for the exterior lighting of the vehicle, heads-up display setting buttons. Coming up top to the dashboard, like I just said, we have a heads-up display. General Motors is currently best in the business, in my opinion. They knock it out of the park. Very bright, Tons of different things you can monitor with the heads-up display. I'd say about 75 to 80% of the dashboard is a nice soft leather. Coming down to the instrument cluster, it is fully digital. I don't know if I'll be able to get it to toggle on for you. Very cool, bunch of different parameters you can monitor. Coming back to the steering wheel, very nice soft leather wrap steering wheel. No bolsters, which I appreciate on a truck. Over on the left side of the steering wheel, we have all the cruise control buttons, as well as the heated steering wheel button and the gap adjustment for your adaptive cruise control. This guy does have paddle shifters, which is pretty sweet. Over on the right side of the steering wheel, we have your steering wheel mounted phone call buttons, as well as the control pad for the center LCD display. Your Denali logo is right there on the airbag. And we have this really nice machined, and it almost looks like it's like a rough machine metal trim on this thing. It actually feels pretty cool too. It's almost like a knurling. It's not too rough. I mean, you can easily guide your hand across it, but you definitely tell it's there. It's actually pretty sweet. I love how GM did their air conditioning vents and heat vents on their trucks versus the Chevy counterpart. It's up high above the touchscreen display. You don't have to worry about it just blowing on a steering column or a shifter column because the shifter's right here. Not really a fan of that, but I get it. Massive, I believe this is a 17.7 inch horizontal touchscreen display. It's Google operating system. I'm pretty sure it's got your pre-trip checklist. So if you're towing a trailer by yourself, you don't need to call somebody to help you to make sure all your lights and brakes and stuff are working like that. 4G LTE, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all wireless, very responsive. Navigation is powered by Google Maps. This thing is an absolute powerhouse. I love it. Massive push button start, dual zone climate control, heated and ventilated captain's chairs. Something that I say every time I'm in a General Motors product that has it. I love that General Motors gives you the option to only turn on your heated seat back independent from the seat. Let's say your butt is hot, or you just had a hard day lifting stuff and you're kind of sore. Just turn the seat back on and you're good to go. Under that, we have a row of buttons starting from left to right. We have your lane keep assist button, parking sensor button, automatic start stop off button. It is on by default. This will actually lower and raise your tailgate, hazard light button, traction control off, hill descent control, and then this button will actually roll down all four windows simultaneously. It unfortunately will not roll them back up. Over here we have a really nice size storage tray, USB Type-C, cup holders, chain storage, and a very sleek minimalist style shifter. I've actually driven a couple of these before, and I'll tell you right now, I don't like these, but if it's gonna have one, this is definitely the way to go. It's very, very sleek. It's kind of on a ball, so you put your foot on the brake, push this in, go forward, it comes back. Go back, it goes back. Very, very sleek. If you're gonna have one, this is the way to go. General Motors knocked it out of the park. And then you have your integrated trailer brake control right here. Kind of a weird, unique spot for it, but the more I've been thinking about it, it actually kind of makes sense. If you got one hand, your left hand on the wheel, you got your right hand on the armrest. If you need to quickly just adjust something or brake, you just quickly hand down or just keep your hand on it by the shifter. It actually makes sense to me. So I think they did a really good job with the placement of that. You have a wireless charging mat right here, and that brings us to the storage compartment. Lift up on it, giving us access to a removable storage tray. It is LED lit, and once you remove the storage tray, these little tabs act as file folder organizer tabs. USB-C, USB, and a power outlet right there. Tons and tons of space to organize stuff in this vehicle. They did a really good job. Here's a closer look at the Ultimate Denali seats. Again, beautiful stitching. They got this topographic map kind of stamped into the leather. Very soft, very comfortable. Real looking wood trim. I'm not 100% sure if it's actually real. It does feel kind of real. And then again, that kind of like rough machine knurling metal trim continues throughout. This thing is amazing. 2 glove boxes. First one's going to be right here. You push this button in, access the glove box, and you even have the topographic kind of map stamped into the wood. Under that, you've got pretty decent sized glove box. Coming up top to the vanity, It is LED lit for your passenger as well as your driver. Something that I always confuse is Alcantara and suede. I don't know what one is what, or I always flip-flop them, but it does have either an Alcantara or a suede headliner, which feels amazing. Up top on the headliner, you have a 3-door universal garage remote. You've got your power sliding rear window button in the middle, flanked by your single pane sunroof buttons, and then your LED dome map light master controls. I love that they kept the single pane sunroof in this guy. The dual pane just makes the truck seem less rigid to me. It's the #1 source of heat in a hot summer day. You're going to be cooking in here. You're going to be making your air conditioning work a lot harder than it needs to. If you're going to have a sunroof, single pane is the way to go. And then also it gives the rear passengers a bunch of headroom, which I'll show you in a minute when we go back there. That brings us to the video camera rear view mirror. I don't have the key, so I can't show you, but I can tell you about it. Right now, it'd be in the normal rear view mirror mode. Flick it forward, it'd go into the camera mode. Once you're in the camera mode, you can use these buttons over here to control the brightness, how high or how low the camera views, how zoomed out or zoomed in the camera is. Once you're done using the camera, flick it back, and it goes to a regular rear view mirror. Now, I think the redesign for 2023, 2024, General Motors products, including Chevy for the 1500s, heavy duties, whatever, was much needed. I said it in the AT4 video I just recently did. The layout is perfect. It feels like you're in a cockpit. Everything is within arm's reach. Okay? The touchscreen display, this whole center console area is slightly angled towards the driver. These touchscreens in these cars are getting so big that if it was just regular flat laid and it was 17.7 or 18 inches, you'd have to reach all the way over here as a driver. You're straining yourself, taking your eyes off the road. With how it is right now, I am planted in my seat and I can reach the top right corner of this touchscreen display. All of this is angled towards the driver. If the passenger needs to change their heated seats or air conditioning temperature, it's the closest thing to them. It just makes sense to me. They did a really, really good job with this update. So with that being said, let's take a look at the back and see how much legroom we have. So before I get in, I do want to point out these seats do fold up. We have under seat storage. We have almost a load flat floor, which is okay. It's very, very minimal. I think it's like raised an inch or two. Under seat storage, out of sight, out of mind. You also have in seat storage as well. Not super deep storage up top. At the bottom, it's about maybe, I don't know, 4 inches, 5 inches of storage. I have a pretty big hand. I can fit pretty much my whole hand behind this center seat right here. So it does go over a decent amount. Getting in is real easy with these running boards and the grab handle on the B-pillar. I can't really move this seat forward much, but I know based on doing a bunch of these that you have about 2.5 to 3 feet of legroom. I mean, tons of legroom. All these cabs are pretty much the same across the board unless you're talking about Ram Heavy Duty, which is still using the 4th generation Ram Heavy Duty truck cab. All the legroom is very comparable. You're going to get storage in the form of pouches behind both driver and passenger seats. 2 cup holders right here. Right here you have your heated captain chairs buttons, USB Type-C. This center seat does double as a fold down armrest / cup holder, if you can see that. Your hanger hooks are going to be on the outermost portion of the headliner, and your LED dome map light is going to be up top in the middle. Now, like I was saying with that single pane sunroof, GM knocked it out of the park with the design of this. They gave you another 3.5 to 4 inches, maybe a little bit more, of increased headroom for the rear passengers. They pushed this headliner as close to the roof as they absolutely could. I'm about 5'11", and I have about 3 to 4 inches of headroom before my head even comes close to touching the headliner. So with the single pane sunroof, you still get decent amount of headroom up front, but the rear passengers definitely see a huge amount of headroom. So good job, GM. Let's take a quick look at the bed. Now, to open the tailgate on this vehicle, there's actually a couple ways to do it. The first way is with the button underneath the dual zone climate control. Second way is with the key fob, and the third way is the more traditional way. And I say traditional because most manufacturers are phasing out of actual physical latches and they're replacing them with buttons. So because this is the multi-pro tailgate, there's a couple ways to actually open it once you're back here. Now, if you use the button underneath the dual zone climate control or the key fob, it's going to open up like a traditional tailgate. To do that, you just push this bottom button here, it'll open up. If you want to use it as a multi-function tailgate, you can push this top button. This portion will come down, right? Then if you have items that are a little bit too long for the bed, you can hang them out here. If you need a blocker for them, pull this guy up, and your 6-foot bed or whatever turns into about an 8-foot bed. You also have tie-down points here and over on the passenger side. Now, if you want to use it as the multi-pro tailgate, you push both of them at the same time, they'll unlock, and then they'll go down. This, being the Ultimate, has every single feature, including this kicker audio tailgate speaker setup. You also have a USB and auxiliary input right here, and there is LED lighting in here as well. Now, once this is down, you can use this as a step. There's a little thing right here that locks into place, and then you can get up and out. I'm about 220 pounds. I can confidently jump up and down on it and not worry about it breaking under my fat butt. Now, this guy does have a spring and bed liner from the factory, it looks like. It also has 3 tie-down points in each of the 4 corners for a class-leading 12 tie-down points. It also has LED bed lighting, and I believe it has a power plug in here somewhere. However, I cannot see it. Oh, it's right over here on the passenger side. There we go. Also, you won't be able to see it, but GM Chevy has pushed the bed sides out as far as they can, maximizing cargo space, and I believe they are class leading in terms of cargo space as well for all of their beds on their 1500 and 2500 heavy duty 3500 trucks. Denali is stamped into the back of the bed. Again, you won't be able to see it because of the trash lighting. I do apologize. And it looks like this guy does again come with a hard trifold tonneau cover. Now, to put the tailgate up, you simply just reverse the process, and I can do it one-handed. It is a little bit heavier than most because of all the gizmos and gadgets in there, but it's still doable. Now, if you want to use it as a regular bed, you can do it like that, like I said. Once it's in the down position, you can take your knee, usually you can hold it for a second unless it was turned off, but you can usually hold it for a second, and then it'll take itself up the rest of the way. If you have a trailer hitch in, I believe you can actually hold both buttons or just the top button, I don't remember what one, for 3 seconds, and it actually locks this portion out, so you can only use this like a traditional tailgate. Let's take a quick look at the towing and payload sticker. Here's the window sticker for this vehicle. Keep in mind, if you see one of these on your dealer lots and the window sticker does slightly vary, it could be because of how it's packaged. Typically, the more packages you add, the less towing and payload you get. Just keep that in mind. So there you have it, 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali Ultimate Edition. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving me a like and share. If you want to keep up to date on more auto show content and future vehicle walkthroughs, definitely consider subscribing to the channel, and please be sure to check out all the affiliate links in the description below. Like always, thanks for watching and have a great day.